stories in Pivotal Tracker.
Here we go. So, website 1 dev meeting with me, Amy, Brian, and Jeff. And yeah, so I guess I should screen share. Okay, so if I just go to this, so this is basically a list of stuff that people are working on website 1.
It's what happened last time. They're not very good notes. I'm the only person taking notes, and so I just like throw stuff down as fast as I can. But so it's it's not organized or anything. It's just better than nothing to have something there.
Yeah. So yeah, I have sort of been out of the loop for this for a while. This is another reason I don't want to take too.
It's editable to everyone, so anyone can enter stuff.
So something I was thinking the other day was, I guess people will have discussed this, but I think something the website that one could really use is something more immediate. Probably, yeah, like a, I don't know exactly what format, but some kind of live chat client that you sort of see as soon as you go to the site, so you can immediately chat to people about what it is. Yeah. Because I think at the moment finding a way from website 1 to Slack is quite an adventure if you're just across it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's Sam has mentioned that before. I think he's thought of that as well. Have you spoken with Sam about this?
No, not with Sam. I think I was talking to David or someone.
Right. I think we were thinking of somehow integrating Slack with website 1 in a way that allows anonymous users to post, but I'm not sure if that's possible. We'll have to investigate that, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue how to go about it. But, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, looking at last week, or the last dev meeting, so there was image, right, let's see the notes. Image URL story. Okay.
Yeah, that's mine. Nothing's happened since last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in. No, well, a little bit. One is that, originally it was just going to be a link, and then after I started working on the story and I went and I read it in Pivotal Tracker, it needs to be validated against a whitelist. And needing to validate it against a whitelist means that we need a helper story, just like how we have a helper. There's a helper function for the Pivotal Tracker verification. So that got kind of complicated, and I can't do it by myself. So that slowed me down. And then also there was Thanksgiving, and I basically didn't get anything done from Tuesday onward. But I can get stuff done this week, and I was hoping to find someone here and make an appointment to pair with me on this story.
Cool. I mean, that's completely understandable because last week not much stuff happened. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Jeff, do you want to say anything about this story? I know you said something yesterday during the scrum.
No worries. One sec. Yeah, about the GitHub. I did spend an hour or so on it yesterday, and I'm to a point. Actually, I'm kind of spinning my wheels. So if someone else could maybe just take a look at it, a couple of things. I basically have the everything working as far as the API calls to GitHub and everything. And I'm using OctaKit in there. It's something about when I call the OctaKit within this rake task, it's not recognizing the library, even though I've required OctaKit at the top. So anyway, I'm sure it's something simple, but anyway, probably an extra set of eyes would be helpful. But yeah, I definitely I'd like to wrap this up for sure. So I don't know if Sam Pretty, I know he's pretty busy right now, or if someone else has got some time to do it, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
All right. Okay. Cool. And pair programming forecast. I spoke with Sam about that. I think he's a bit hesitant to bring more like new features over. He wants us to really focus on polishing existing features. Because yeah, I think there's still a lot of stuff that can be done to just improve the overall experience of the site without adding new features. So I think that should be the focus of the any news stories we'd like to bring through, at least. Thomas met with Rose students, right? Don't know what's happening with them. Amy, have Rose's students been attending one of the later scrums?
Yes, they have. I
Who
meet with
normally
them
hosts that scrum?
every Monday and Wednesday. Sorry?
Who normally hosts those scrums?
I normally host those scrums, Monday and Wednesday,
Okay.
2 p.m.
Right.
Pacific.
Cool. I see. When is that? Like, I know it's pretty late in my time.
2 p.m. Pacific? What time zone are you in?
London time?
Oh, okay. So
That's
that's,
close to midnight, isn't it?
it's 2.5 hours from now is 2 o'clock our time.
Oh, okay. 10. That's not that bad, I think. 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, how have they been doing then with these stories?
They seem to be pulling together as a team, and the scrums have gotten more cohesive. You know, like I think we've only met like 2 or 3 times so far, and most of the progress has been, you know, getting people's development environments set up and figuring out how to hold a scrum. And she's got like 20 students, and on different projects. So how to hold a scrum so that it's, you know, like we get our habits correct, so it's not a whole bunch of people talking at once, and it goes in an orderly fashion, and people remember to check in, and so that's mostly what we've been doing over the past 3 scrums. But that's a lot of firepower, all those people. So we should do something to hook up the Website 1 students with the rest of the Website 1 community. And I'll be talking to her tomorrow afternoon, and I can reach out to her today. Maybe what should happen is an additional dev meeting.
Okay. At the later time, you think? So that it fits in their schedule? Because I know
it fits in their schedule. Yeah.
Right now they're in class or probably, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. If even a few people from their team can get together.
Okay. I can try and make one. It has to be Thursday though, for me. Wednesday I'm not free. Friday I just happen not to be free as well. Oh well, just see if you can organize something this week or next week. Now I'll try and come around. It's definitely 2 p.m. Pacific, right?
It's 2 p.m. Pacific on Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, that's for the scrum. But do you think we can have the dev meeting at the same time?
I have no idea. I'd have to ask.
Okay.
I could send a doodle around.
Yeah.
Can you post your email address in the chat?
Doodle. Okay. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, everybody.
Thomas.
Sorry for,
Welcome.
Hey, Thomas.
hi. Sorry for being late. I just got home late night at work. Sorry.
Hey, we have notes. You remember the notes from last week?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you can catch up. We have notes that let you know what we did so far.
Let me
Okay,
repaste the link.
Yeah, repaste the
'cause,
link.
Yeah, you
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
made. Cool. Yeah, we were talking about just going through the list at what happened last time. So not much happened with Jeff and Amy because it was Thanksgiving most of the week. So there hasn't been much progress there. Oh, and I've talked to Sam about the pair programming forecast. He's a bit hesitant about taking on new features because he wants us to try and focus on polishing up the existing site, just
Yeah.
improving the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to him about that as well. So he kind of he was worried that we introduced too many features and features that are not used by people. The thing here is that I feel that what Norbert is aiming for, and hopefully that's I haven't misunderstood him, that it's some sort of it's not a commitment but rather a forecast. I would like Norbert to. It depends a little bit what he delivers, but I think that I want these. I don't want the status of me, see, what I'm saying is this is not a long-term forecast, like something that repeats week after week. That people, people tend to forget those things, but rather a quick, for the next upcoming 24 hours or 48 hours ahead, and that this data is not persistent. I mean, what I mean is that when that time frame expires, the data is not longer displayed to the user. So we kind of discussed this, and we said that let's let him develop this feature and see what he comes up with, and we can always reserve right not to merge it in if it doesn't kind of fit into the structure, or if it's not exactly what we are hoping for. So I would say that because there is a value in having Norbert develop this. He's pursuing the specialized track in the AV102 course, and he's one of the very few persons that actually does that. And this is a story that he chose because of the fact that as a homework assignment.
Okay, that's fine. It'll be nice to see a spike of that coming up soon.
Yeah. So that's let's treat that as a potential feature that we can merge in, but we can always reject that if So
yeah,
I would say that because if we settle for that, I'll be very happy actually.
Cool.
He's a very ambitious guy, and I want him to succeed with and this was his idea, and I want him to be able to at least showcase what he wants to implement. Show us what he wants.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then now we're talking about Rose's students, potentially. So Amy's been meeting up with them Monday and Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken, at the later Scrum, Pacific Rim Scrum, approximately 2.5 hours from now.
Yeah. So how are they doing? What's up with their stories?
They've been pulling together their Scrum process. So we've only met 3 times, and we've mostly been learning how to Scrum. Basically, people have mostly gotten over the difficulty of setting up their development environment, and some people are beginning to work on stories. But I'm not tracking how everybody's doing in Website 1. I was just facilitating the scrums to make them happen.
Okay. And then Amy also suggested having another dev meeting a bit closer to their time, to their availability, so that the students can meet up with Website 1 devs. I think that can be good. I can try and make time for it.
Yeah, I have to
Ending.
catch up with Rose because I promised her that I'll try to meet with them bi-weekly. So tomorrow should be the
Okay.
time when I should be there. So I'm going to try to catch her later tonight or
Right.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh? What time do you usually meet up with Rose's students?
That was 11 o'clock
11.
time. Yeah, so 10 o'clock UTC.
Okay. I might be able to make that one. Although that, yeah, I should be able to make that one. If it's 11.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Cool. That's cool.
Cool. And next, public dashboard. What's progress? Thomas and Sasha, you're here, aren't you? Two of you. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is sort of nearly finished, but it's been nearly finished for
Right.
weeks, I think. I've
You
had a
guys have like this spike set up somewhere on Heroku that we can sort of browse and have a look at now. It'll be nice just to share a link, like so we can give you feedback on your what you guys have done.
there's nothing up at the moment. It's still still in whatchamacallit. I mean, it's basically I don't know. The problem is I've had a bunch of tech testing, so I just haven't had any time at all to work on this. So the one I'm working on now, I should be finished by Thursday, so then I can come back to this and remember where the heck I am. At the moment, because it's been like a week and a half or something since I touched it. Yeah, I can't really remember many details on it. I remember, so I was pairing with David and I got stuck, and he helped me with something, and we had some key breakthrough. I think it's sort of more or less working now, but we need to refactor it quite heavily because it's hideously ugly. So yeah, I need to. I sort of just need to find a few hours to do that at some stage.
Cool. And do you know how to deploy stuff to Heroku?
In theory, yes, but it's been a long time since I tried to do it, so I might come seeking some help on that, and that's really as well.
It's like super easy, so don't worry too much about it. They have a very well documented process on how to deploy stuff.
Okay. What I remember from it was there were always like bugs, and we were always struggling when we did it in the course.
Oh, really?
We always
Okay.
messages and weren't sure what to do about them.
Oh.
They weren't as descriptive as the ones we've been used to from Ruby.
Right. I don't know. All my experience have been relatively painless. Just push. Okay. Well, if anything does happen, just try and shout for help on the website one channel. I'm sure someone will be around to talk about it. Semaphore. Yes, Semaphore transfer is complete. We are completely using Semaphore instead of Travis, and it's running quickly, and it seems to be working better. Don't you think, Thomas?
Yes, I do think
Yeah.
so. However, what we need to do now is to get rid of the Travis YAML file and stop and remove the hook from GitHub, and also configure. We have to configure the other servers. I configured the development server on Semaphore, pushes out to that, but we have to configure the staging and production, and we have to get rid of Travis. So that's the next step in that implementation.
Okay. Cool. So who can do that? Am I able to do that? Because I know that Semaphore
let's have a look. I'm sharing my screen, I hope.
We see your screen.
Cool. So we go to website 1, and I think I have to go to settings and brand deployment. Let's see here. First of all, members, collaborators, and who's there? Owners. Is that it? that the whole thing? To create a new team. So admins, we can give the group admin create team, and we have owners. Okay, so yes, we have Jeff, we have you, we have somebody, me, and we have Norbert in the owners team.
All right.
Hey, Thomas, I was just going to say real quick, even though we are technically owners, I think ultimately you have to have admin access on GitHub to do what Brian was talking about.
Okay, well, Brian has that admin access.
Okay, perfect.
Well, to the repository, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. So, because what Jeff says is that you should have admin access to Semaphore and to both to Semaphore and to the main repo. So that should basically.
I think before why I didn't have problems is because, and why I had problems was because I don't have admin access to the organization.
To the organization on GitHub?
GitHub, yeah.
Really?
I think so, because I know I remember I couldn't add it, but it might, yeah, I might be able to work.
But I can add you to that.
Well, as long as I can work with website 1, it's fine. I think it should be fine now. Platform settings.
Well, you are an owner of the Agile
really?
Ventures, actually. Yeah.
Why did I have problems before? Okay, anyway. Oh.
That shouldn't be a problem, at least. And because yeah, and we have this website 1 with that. That's weird. I thought we had a website 1 team. Obviously don't. But oh no, we set your permission on the repository, right? Not on the team. So yes, you are a member of the owners team of Agile Ventures. But on website 1, on the repository, you are collaborators. Let's see here. Owners have full access, and you are an owner of that. Yes, yes, yeah, because that team is set as owner of this repository. So yes, you have ownership access.
Okay.
Top level access on all our repositories.
Right. Yeah. So I should be able to do that then.
You should be able to do that. So cool. and the thing here with setting up servers is pretty straightforward. I just didn't, I just wanted to. I basically just did one server because I just wanted to try it out, kind of. Let's see. What is that? Yes. Deployment. Here we are. So we have the Heroku Develop. Yes, I gave it the name. The just arbitrary. I gave it the name of Heroku Develop. So
okay.
And if we edit it, you just see that we have an application name. So that needs to be the same name as we have on Heroku. The Heroku API key, you can get that because you have access. Do you have access to our Heroku account?
I think so. Yeah. Neurogrid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I do.
Then you can get all this stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
And then you just you deploy automatically. You choose what branch you want to want to use, cool. And then you just give some deploy commands, and you can just basically copy whatever is in this Heroku Develop server. The only thing you have to change is the branch, basically.
Okay.
But let's see if we are tracking that branch. Repository. Oh. Or perhaps this is a problem. Perhaps I am. Oh well. Anyway, if you run into some issues, we can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I have a question about this Twitter API thing.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps we should write up a new story, because what we do now, the API is working, everything is wonderful, kind of, but the thing that we are posting is very static. The only thing we say is pair programming on Agile Ventures, and the link to that, yes, to that Hangout, and it's tagged with pair with me, which is perfectly all right. But I would say that we could change this pair programming if because we are using categories. It's either a Scrum or a pair programming, so I think that should be dynamic depending on what sort of a Hangout it is. And also we should post at least a name, but the best thing would, of course, to post a URL to the project page on website one on what exactly we are doing. So, for instance, in this case, we could say, a weekly meeting or Scrum meeting or project meeting on website one, and then the link to this Hangout. That would be the best thing. So, I think that there is room for some refactoring, some enhancements here.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. Should we add some stories?
I think if you want to write it up, that would be great.
Okay. So what exactly do you want? So link to the project. Okay.
Well, for first, yeah, at least at the very least, we should be the project name. Perhaps if we still have to fit into those 100. What is it? 140 or how many?
Yeah, 140.
Yeah. So to have two URLs in a single tweet, that could be a little too much. So, but at least the name of the project that we are dealing with at the time. And I would say that pair programming is a little too static. I would say pair programming, if that is a pair programming session, but rather, if it's a Scrum, then we should add Scrum to it. That category. And also I would say that if it is a Scrum, then we could say pair with me and add another hashtag, that says Scrum or Agile or something. Because now we're only visible in this pair with me tag.
Right.
To yet another tag or hashtag or something.
So for what it's worth, when you stick a URL onto Twitter, it automatically truncates it these days to about 20 characters.
Okay.
So just going by the looks of the tweets that you're already sending out there, I think you could quite easily, just in terms of character count, fit in another URL without overrunning.
Okay.
It might look too busy. You might not want to do it for aesthetic reasons.
And I would. That's great. So then let's try to fit that in then. Try to fit in another URL. But in terms of adding different hashtags, I would say that we could use the hashtag open source or something.
Right.
Yes. It seems to be quite a popular hashtag, actually. So open source would be nice, apart from pair with me. And then that if we had an attribute on each project, what stack what technology we're using, and that would say, for instance, Ruby on Rails in the case of website one, it would be nice to tag tweets with that attribute, but that's another story that would require a new migration and stuff. So let's hold off with that. But I think this. I've noticed. I'm working with this Twitter account almost on a daily basis, and I see that there are people that are sometimes retweeting those pair programming sessions, or at least clicking favorites on them. So that's a good thing. This is making an impact.
Cool.
See here, yeah, this one was favorite, and this one, yeah, that's a good thing. Cool. After tweets appearing.
Okay, I've added it. You can have a look.
Perhaps we
So,
could vote on this story if it doesn't, because then somebody could start working on that.
sure.
How do you guys feel about that? Can we go to a vote on it?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. You all know the voting process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure do. Hey, Thomas, I think I've understood most of what you're saying, but can you just give a quick summary of this feature?
Yes. Well, what we do now is that every time a Hangout is created, we have an automated way to tweet that that information, and I think Brian is in the process of putting that out. Yeah. So here we are calling this Twitter service, and we tweet pair programming on Agile Ventures, and then just passing in the Hangout URL. And
so this is all hard-coded at the moment, so we
Yes.
want it to be a bit more dynamic.
Okay, understood. Yep, got it. Okay, thanks.
And it belongs to a project, so we can pull out the project information. If it's available, it belongs to a user, so if we want to, we can add the user's name as well.
And the
That's
event
something we need
is
to discuss a bit more,
Yeah.
and also the event it's associated with, so we can tell whether or not it's a Scrum or a pair programming session.
So just to keep it simple, I would say let's add a category, because there are two categories that are used right now. One being Scrum, and the other one is pair programming.
Yes.
Yes. So either one of these two.
Did mention that, did I? Yeah, use event category, project name when available. Cool.
And the project name with a URL to that page on website 1, right? Because what we want them to see, be able to do, is to click if they're interested. Okay, let's see what website 1 is, or let's see what local support is, or whatever. So if they click, they should go to the index, to the show page of the project.
Right.
And user is not necessary to. The user information is not necessary here.
I wouldn't put it so soon. But yeah.
Yeah, and then basically just hard code in the open source hashtag, and that should be enough at this point. And the thing here is pair programming on Agile Ventures is, because we always send these tweets out from Agile Ventures account, so it feels a little redundant to have it both in the tweet and as the sender of the tweet, right? So we can remove that Agile, pair programming on and project name, or Scrum for and the project name, or something, or perhaps not the project name, but the name of the Scrum, the Euro Scrum, or Asia, But think, let's have a just hold on for a second, because another thing that is automatically generated by the Google API is the YouTube link to the recording. So the thing here is that now we are posting the link to this Hangout, but that Hangout link is dead, after the meeting is over. So wouldn't it be better for us to actually post the link to the YouTube recording of it rather than a live link? I don't know.
If you're going to do that, how do you not then need to delay the tweet until after the Scrum when the recording's up?
Yeah, I think that's a lot more complicated because there's no direct way to access the YouTube link. That is sort of hidden somewhere else.
No, it is actually automatically created.
Yeah, it's automatically created, but where is it saved?
In our where is it? Event instance model.
Oh, is it?
In a table, yeah. I'm pretty sure that it is.
Okay. I'll have to look at that, but okay.
You're talking about the recorded version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I've always found this stuff is I look at whoever hosted a meeting, and then I go to their profile and grab that latest video feed. So I think
Yes.
that's how
The target audience here are people that are not members. So that
right.
would be,
I guess what I'm saying is we have access to that in the user model, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
well, actually, just to be picky here, the way you access that, Jeff, the way you explain that doesn't actually that information is not stored on website one, which is that's an old way for that. We developed that way back in March or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually queried the YouTube API for that URL. Then after, what we did is, I think Yaro did that, or whoever, the Hangout connection application is writing to our database a lot of some information. One of it being the Hangout URL, and the other one is the YouTube URL. So if you go to, for instance, Brian, if you could go to agileadventures.org/hangout and pull that out, it's a view that we are not using so much, but it's there. Hangouts,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so there you go. You see, this is the one that we are in right now, and you can see that live recording, live stream of it. But you can also go to the other ones. This is gonna.
But I think it's better if we can.
Yeah, you see, this is the live streaming of this URL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is it.
So that feels rather odd that we are seeing this.
Inception.
Yes. Wow. I'm gonna have nightmares now.
Right.
But forget about that.
So
I mean,
think for the time being, let's just limit to the Hangout.
Yeah. But you understand my concern that the tweet have a lifespan that is far more longer than the actual Hangout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I personally think it's still better to direct them at the Hangout if it's there.
Absolutely, and I know for a fact that is what Sam wants. He wants people to join his grams, and we all want that. So yeah, I just wanted to raise that.
Yeah. So I think this is another feature that's quite important. It's relatively simple. It is just making this hard-coded text a little bit more dynamic.
And write some specs for it.
Yeah, of course. That comes with every story. It's required. So does anybody else have any more questions about this? Everyone understand what needs to be done?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep.
Cool. Amy?
Yeah.
Awesome. So shall we start voting then? So does everyone know the drill?
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. Number in your head, put it down, and then on the count of 3, we'll hit enter at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. Cool. Unanimous. Everyone's voted a 1. So this story is just worth 1 point. Cool. Do you think we should bring that into the backlog? I think it's very important.
Yes.
Put it at the top, or just under Jira links, because I know Jira is something that everyone's wanted. Well, anyone can pick either of these. Cool.
Cool beans.
Right.
What else?
I think
I've been working on these dependencies but I run into some. I haven't had time to deal with
messy.
this.
Yeah,
it's really messy. So basically, what I'm having problems is that the active record is behaving strangely. I don't find the records that I need to find, and so I've been debugging this stuff manually, and
Right.
and when I do that, I can find them, but RSpec cannot, and I'm pretty much,
Okay. Right.
So I would need somebody to pair with me on that.
Yeah, I can that. If we can find time, I'll try and help you with that. How about the this one story? Live links should go. Live soon link should
Yeah, that's
go.
me. I meant to start with it last week, but I didn't, and I know that Sam is asking for it, so I need somebody to give me a kick in my butt. That's a way of asking for help again.
Kick in the butt is not really helping. But yeah, sure.
Sometimes it does, On me, it does. Ask my wife. Tell you.
All right, go Thomas. Come on. It's not that hard.
A virtual kick in the butt. No, but when we, whenever you and I hook up to work on the dependencies branch, we can just fix this. I mean, this is a 2-minute fix. We could basically do it over GitHub. Just edit the file and change it. But let's do it the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I told Sam when he was doing the update to the.
I wasn't too happy about that either. He just updated on master.
Oh, he did that at the end. Was it on master? I thought he
Oh no, not master. Sorry, develop.
Oh, but I told him to do it on master actually. Because nobody. He was, and I was like, it's one line of, it's one string, and I said, so now I have to go through the entire process of pushing it all the way, So if it's very important, just go in and change that string on the master branch. And he said, no, I do it on develop. Okay, so.
Okay.
Right now. John's going to be doing a wacky presentation involving a sock puppet. It's going to be both educational.
What?
Sorry, that was me. I pushed the wrong button.
Oh.
Are you watching the Hack Summit?
Well, I've got it on mute, and somehow it unmuted itself in the background. But I have been. They've been streaming some good stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching some live stuff and some recorded. Yeah.
Is that today?
It's a 4-day event.
Oh yeah. Oh, I need to get on that.
It's all recorded. If you miss something,
yeah.
Do they have like a channel which they publish all the videos on?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I'll if I find that link, I'll post it to you, Brian. The big thing is going to be between Kent Beck and who's the other dude in about 50 minutes, so that'll be a good one to see.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great. I don't know how many people. The first day it was 7,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say now? 60,000. What? Go up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yep, it's currently 60,000.
Wow. Oh, cool. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I haven't finished my registration. Damn it. I guess it doesn't matter when I finish it.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, John Skeet, #1 answer on Stack Overflow. So that's on now, huh? Watch it. Okay, I'll deal with this later. Yeah, cool. What else do we have to go through here?
Well, I would like us, but yeah, we have this thing that I think we all kind of hope for is in January we start the new iteration of 169.4.2 course, and we with relatively little effort, I think we could make this events thing to work for us, and both mine and I know Sam actually raised this. Our hope is that we can channel all the 169 students to use Agile Ventures for their pair programming scheduling rather than having them use Google Hangouts or not Hangouts, but the G+ community.
Right. Okay.
So that's a very important thing for us. And I'm hoping to. I'll be off work, of course, in the days between Christmas and New
Yeah.
Year's.
That's
And
actually something I wanted to say as well. I'm gonna be quite free during that period, so
mm,
I'm quite happy to get back on development
yeah,
and yeah, have a look at things. So if we're gonna prioritize on events, that'll be nice.
yeah. I would like us to make a push during in that particular weekend. And it's also I was developing the prototype for this website
Hmm.
last year at that period, between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah,
And
it's almost a year old, isn't it?
yeah, we
Website
started
one.
January 8th was the launch of this project. We
Yeah.
me and Marcelo, I think you joined me as well, Brian, a few times. And
I joined a bit after. It wasn't so early.
oh,
I think I
really?
joined like mid-January. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because I know that John was with me and Marcelo was with me. Those the thing here is that for you guys that haven't been around for so long and don't know me, Thaddeus, my son, was due to arrive to his earthly being at December 18th, but he decided that he didn't want to do that. So we were both me and my wife was home. He was born ultimately on January 3rd, but this period of time between the planned date and his actual delivery date was very stressful for us because my wife wasn't feeling good, so she didn't want to talk to me or interact with me in any way. So I was basically sitting in my room just waiting for her to call on me and saying that we have to go to the hospital. And while I didn't have anything else to do apart from learning how to code in Ruby and learning the Rails framework, I decided to do a prototype for a website for Agile Ventures. So that's what I did basically, and then we went to the New Year's came and we went to the hospital January 2nd, January 3rd he was born. I got back home and January 8th we launched the development of this project. So that's the story behind Website 1. And the name Website 1 comes from me generating a Rails scaffold called Website on my local machine. And then for some reason I wasn't happy with it. And instead of just deleting that folder, I CD out of it and generated a new application. And I couldn't call it Website because I already had a folder called Website. So then I called it Website 1 as the second version of it. And it kind of stuck, just.
I always thought of it as something like Ground Zero,
Kind of, yeah.
near the center of everything.
Yes. Yes, that says a little bit about myself, about my egocentric persona, I guess. Yes. No, but really, then I ultimately deleted the website folder, but we still have a repository on Agile Ventures that is called Website, or is it on my own, perhaps? That's the original spike that we did for this application. But it wasn't, it was just me playing around with some gems and some code and stuff. And then when we started Website 1, we did everything TDD and BB and stuff. So it's a little nostalgic for me that we are nearing the 1 year anniversary, and I would really love the big problem child of this project to be solved, because the events business has been a pain in the butt for a long time now. So I would like to, if we could make a push, Brian, and everybody else, that would be great.
I think for the weeks before Christmas, it'll be nice if we can set up some stories that we can sort of charge at during that period, so that we all have like a nice direction and we don't spend, because we have lots of free time, so we don't want to really spend too much time thinking about
what to do,
and just do stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think I'd like that to be the focus of the next few weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you, Amy, Jeff, and Sasha? Are you guys planning on doing some coding during the holidays?
Yeah, I would love to. We are going to be on the road, so it's going to be kind of hit or miss for me. But I do look at family's going to be around. You know, I've got two kids. Interestingly enough, Thomas, I don't know if you remember this. We were having our second girl. It was supposed to. Well, she was due. I think around the same time your son was.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, she ended up coming around December 19th. So
Oh,
I
so
remember
she beat
those
me.
initial pains. I was sharing those initial pains of parenthood with you.
I remember that. I remember that very well. Yes.
Yeah, family's going to be around, so yeah, hopefully I will have some pockets of time here and there to do some stuff. So, yep.
Yeah, that's cool. No, it's a great way to get away from family. Trust me. And also, you know what? Another thing I noticed. It's a great way for your family to get rid of you, because they are actually glad that I go to my room and do things, you know, instead of joking around or playing around with them. That's no, I'm kidding. But it's a good getaway, and we're doing a good thing here in Agile Ventures. So, you know, it's satisfying. I think it's very satisfying.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be around a little bit. I'm still kind of figuring things out day to day at the moment. Yeah, if I end up taking the job that I'm.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, how's that working out for you?
I'm waiting for the guy to get back to me and confirm some details. And I can't remember what you last heard. So he came back to me and said, like, there's a second job that you could do to fill us in, which is the same one he's doing. But like he wants to give it to me through his own setup as a agency, which means take a percentage, which I don't mind too much. But at the moment the percentage is high enough that it's sort of pushing it down to the total amount down to about the same I'd get from a permanent job. So I sent him an email back trying to negotiate it back up again, saying, like, you know, like, can you either reduce the percentage you take or increase the amount that you give? So I don't know I'm not sure if I'm a good enough negotiator to get away with this, but I thought I had to try.
Absolutely.
So I'll see how that goes, and I mean I'm hoping. I think at the moment I'm leaning towards taking it. Assuming the salary is at all reasonable, because I think I might just end up learning a lot more from doing two jobs than from one, even if they are contracting jobs. So if I do that, then I'll be starting sort of ASAP. You know, it could be before Christmas, and then then there'll be a sort of tumultuous period of flat hunting and a mad hurry. And obviously, presumably settling into these jobs will take a bit of after-hours research, but
absolutely, yeah.
But you know, hopefully, I will then stop having to worry about tech tests and spend a lot more time becoming a better programmer and actually be able to work more efficiently on the time I do have.
I wish you the best of luck. I think it's a very interesting, as I said to you before. It's an interesting period in your life. So choose carefully, but it's always better to make a choice, and then not than putting it off. If you know what I mean. It's sometimes I found myself in that position many times in life that you don't know what to do and you just put off the decision instead of just making a decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think over the years I've learned that it's I never worry about action, only inaction.
Yeah.
It's better to act.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely leaning towards taking it. I've got an interview tomorrow morning, which I don't really want to go to because it's miles away. So if I could actually confirm tonight with the guy, then that would be awesome. But that's a bit optimistic. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, I sort of want to make that decision, but I do need to hear back from him first. So yeah, I guess I'll just see in the short term how that goes. And yeah, hopefully I'll be around a little bit over. Well, Christmas is neither here nor there while I'm not working, but it just depends on how much time I'm spending looking for work and so on.
Wonderful. All right. Okay, guys. What else should we talk about in this meeting?
Are we able to close any of the stories in the current queue? Sorry about that, Jeff.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
In the current queue, that is up to Sam. So he requested that I push stuff up to production so that he can see the Twitter stuff in action and also the web interface, because that's configured to work only in production right now. So we're probably pending another client meeting to get those accepted.
Okay. And did the client meeting that was planned last week happen?
Yes, it happened. When was that? Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Yep, that happened, and I was there. I spoke with Sam. We didn't have a lot of time, so we just sort of rushed through the stories in there. So we got 3 stories accepted. There you go. And yay. So we're trying to get these ones accepted this week if we can host the client meeting. In fact, Thomas, do you know if you'll be available for a client meeting this week with Thomas?
Well, I don't think Sam will be. He wants to do that bi-weekly.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, then we'll have to wait for next week. Because if I recall, I tried asking him. He's not sure as well whether he can make another evening this week.
But, if we have stuff, we I know that you and I discussed, and we kind of decided upon this, that we should wait with pushing stories out to production and just keep them in staging. But as I recall, I watched the recording of your meeting with him last week. He for him, it doesn't really matter. We can push stuff up to production if we're confident, if we believe it. So it's and since we introduced this bi-weekly thing, he requested that a month ago or something. So perhaps instead of having them resting too long on staging, we can do some manual tests on staging and stuff. But I think we could start pushing stuff out. And
I think we should get rid of staging altogether and use develop and test it there, and it just goes straight to production. I don't see a lot of value in having staging at the moment.
The thing is that we are replicating the database to staging, and so we have more live data on that machine. And production-wise, I would say that they are both. The Rails end is set to production on all 3 servers, and they are basically But we have we have all the add-ons that on staging that we use on production. We don't have that on development. So if something breaks on, it's easier for us to replicate the production environment, the total production environment on staging than it is to do that on development. So
fair enough.
I know what you mean, and I think it's a big hassle to have to push through the entire thing. But now with Semaphore, perhaps it's going to be easier for us.
I wonder if we can detach staging from. We can avoid pushing through staging all the time and just have it as sort of on standby, so we don't have to go through staging every time we want to go to production. Maybe that might be better, because most of the time it just slows us down.
We don't do that. We don't use it for almost anything.
Yeah. So I think it's nicer to have it on standby, something we can use for special testing.
I remember back at the beginning, we didn't have staging. We only had 2 servers, and I remember that Sal requested the staging server, but he couldn't actually make a good argument for why we should have it.
I think
back in those days, whatever he said, we did basically.
That's what I feel. But I see your point why we want to have somewhere to replicate the data on. But I'd like to detach it from the pipeline that we push to production.
Well, the thing is, as long as everything runs smoothly, we don't need staging for anything. But when the shit hits the fan, we do use it. So, but your way is a way of a middle way, a compromise, and I think it's a good thing. So let's push from develop to production, and if we need to do something like do some hot fixes, it's better for us to. It's good for us to have staging, for instance, when we have to push out the hotfix. So then we can push it out to staging first, see if it works, and if it does, we push it out to production. In those corner cases. But yeah, I say it's cool. I say we can go from development to production and jump the staging thing.
All right.
But having said that, I don't want to have any experimental code go through to production. So, but we do the screening much better now because we don't merge anything into development that isn't cool.
Yeah.
That doesn't hold up to good quality. So yeah, because in the past we had differences in what the development server should be used for, right? There were some people that wanted to lower the threshold for merging stuff into development, and I say that is not a good thing to do. I say we should. Yeah. If we want to deploy something that is experimental, let's do a spike and push it out to a server outside of the structure, basically.
Cool.
All right.
Totally agree. We can sort of discuss this with Sam, but I don't think he really needs to be involved with that.
No.
Yeah. If you want to see stuff on production, let's just push straight to production, and we can have staging there just as a backup.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Who was working on the accept Jira links story?
I think it's Jeff that's assigned here. It
Oh
was
yeah,
Thanksgiving, so
I wanted to finish up the GitHub commit thing, so I haven't even looked at that.
Sure.
Okay.
I might be able to help you with that because the block on accepting the Jira links is the helper feature for pivotal tracker checking, which is like the helper feature for the image URL verification that I'm going to have to do.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you want to reassign that to yourself, cool. Or I really would like to finish up this GitHub commit thing, and then maybe we could pair on this together. That'd be great.
Okay, let's just take everyone's name off of it, since both you and I have a story in progress. I like to minimize the work in progress, and I don't think anyone's going to pick this up before we can start on it. And you and I are kind of in similar time zones, so we will see each other frequently over the coming days, and maybe we can get all three of these closed.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome.
Right. Do we have any other issues?
Yeah, guys, I just had one thing I was going to discuss briefly. Was if anyone had done any more thought about the paths, or just kind of the community membership labels, or what we had done with that. And I've been kind of thinking about that, looking for existing models out there. What are some of the best ways you could do it? But there were a couple of questions thrown around today that made me want to ask this question. Was it sounds like there's a couple of different on-ramps to Agile Ventures, and if we go way back in the day, right? I think Sam started out this idea because he wanted to have a open source incubator because he was teaching CS 169 and he kind of wanted his students to have some projects to work on, right? And actually, I think it was even part of his non-online class. It was more of a local class. But anyway, my question is more. It seems like there are all these kind of on-ramps to come, like how people find out about Agile Ventures, via the 169X and 2.x. And then I've also heard that there, like when I first came on, Marion and I think John, they were working on local support. And I always heard in the background these little discussions of stuff that they had to do for a class. And it was like there were these courses that they were working on that weren't available publicly. And I guess now anyway, I don't know if those things exist, but I think you were also talking about, oh gosh, what was his name? I forget, but someone else working on a different class. So anyway, I guess my question is there, it seems like there are all these kind of maybe private feeder classes that are using Agile Ventures as sort of a
okay. Well, the thing is that what you heard back in the old days was a spook, or whatever it's called, a private MOOC kind of thing that Sam was hosting, and that had actually, when you joined, what he was doing back then was a very technical, class that Marian and John and I think Michael attended. I just glanced at it and just rejected it.
And too Tetris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is wow.
It's I'm more into information systems. I don't care about technology so much actually. So I was like, nah, it scared the shit out of me. But so that's one thing. But they did talk about it in scrums and stuff, Then the 169 class is run by different colleges and universities around the world as a private. It's a course within the framework of that particular institution, but they use the textbook and the materials used written by professors Patterson and Fox, and so and Sam facilitates, and Rose's students are an example of that, because what they are doing in their class is the same thing that the students of the 169 class are doing online. So in a way that there are private private instances of this course that are delivered to different students. But then there is another course that we are running ourselves, and that's the Managing Distributed Teams course, that was initially started as a way to prepare people to be teaching assistants for the 169 class run by Berkeley, but has kind of evolved to also include people that want to, it's like an onboarding course and my idea, and me and Sam are discussing that, is to expand that, so when you come in as a new member, if you want to have to be helped with your onboarding process into this community, you could take that course, and that course is basically about how do you collaborate remotely with people, how do you use the basic set of tools that we are using, like GitHub, like Pivotal Tracker or Jira, or and some other tools in order to collaborate with people in Google Hangouts, etc., etc. And then we created this. So we had this AV 102 course, right? That was, I think it was 4 weeks long or something. It was a theoretical part of this course, and we issued a certificate to almost 200 participants in the spring of 2014. And now we run a new iteration of this course, and we added the thing that we call the specialized tracks. So after the theoretical part, we kind of give them assignments for either being teaching assistants, and that is Sam's business, or the project track, which I take care of, and so I prepare different things that the students need to do every week, and some different assignments, and I think it's if the context of this document that I prepared a few weeks ago about the different paths in Agile Ventures, I think that if you want, I mean, being a developer is one thing, because that's you do programming, and you develop software, etc., etc. But I think that, and I've spoken about this before, I think that the biggest value of this community is that we give junior developers or developers whatsoever. It doesn't really matter if you're junior or an expert, but we give you an opportunity to work in a real life project with a real customer, and so it prepares you for the day that when you get a job, or you want to start your own company or something, then you have that with you, the mindset, the set of tools with you, the experiences of having worked in a real project. And that's why what I try to prepare my quote-unquote students for in this specialized track, I want to raise certain issues and talk about certain things, that just raise the awareness of do's and don'ts in project, not only project management but also being a project collaborator. And the idea is that in the spring of 2015, I'll try to package that into a course for new members that are interested in other things than just being a developer. If you are interested in becoming ultimately a project leader or project manager, then that course could be a good path to do, or a good course to attend.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And I mean, there's obviously real value with AV. I mean, you can go out and do Codecademy and do the technical stuff, but the whole interacting with other people and collaborating on a project, I mean, those are skills. Those are great soft skills to have, and you can't just go learn about them somewhere. You have to come to a place like this to actually engage and do it. So I guess, so you've answered my question mostly, and that is, I just kind of felt like there were these specialized little classes that were kind of evolving behind the scenes, and then there was the kind of in the other door that was open up to the internet, and we would try to invite people through. And so it sounded like there were these two kind of ways to get into Agile Ventures, and I was just, if you had all this stuff going on behind the scenes with these specialized courses and everything, and they were working great, were they just test beds that you were looking to eventually, merge into the larger flow, or was Agile Ventures more created just for those little, small classrooms in the back, and then if people found your way in? Yeah, and now you start to understand this, or start answering the question. And
I mean, the main reason why this community exists is that Sam felt that the 169 courses are great, but they lack in preparing people for the real world action that is going on when you actually work in the industry. And this is also what Armando Fox talks about. There is this video made by GitHub actually, and he talks about that. Yeah, programming skills are great, and this is of course you need to have them. But what we want to teach our students is the collaborative part of software development, like what I was talking about before. Using and applying the different tools into your projects and working with clients and staying focused on the business values, etc., etc. So this is why the main idea behind Agile Ventures, and this is actually I've been thinking about this recently because there's this ongoing discussion that's been going on for quite a few months. What we are, what we should do, and stuff like that. And I would like to, but this is just my personal opinion. I would like to focus on what we are not. And I'd say that we are not a coding school, in any way, because there are so many great coding schools. Yeah, so we are definitely not a coding school. We could be we are definitely a project incubator, and we could be a platform for people to develop their project collaboration skills, rather than just the programming skills. But it's important that we someday kind of define exactly what are the main points, so we can communicate them to our potential members. We try to do that, and then our landing page, I think, is kind of we tell people what we are and what we do, but I get a sense that not everybody kind of pays attention to this. These texts on our landing page are not, perhaps people don't read them or something.
I mean, I've read them and I agree to some point. And I think where maybe the confusion comes in is that when people hear learning, they think this is the place to maybe start, and that's not the case. Like, I think the best person, or the best candidate to really get the most from Agile Ventures is more of an intermediate developer. If you're learning stuff for the first time, this isn't the place to be. Go learn how to basically code, and then come back, and once you have a basic working knowledge, and that's kind of where I was in January. I came here and I didn't really know enough to code, and so I felt like maybe this wasn't really where I fit in. But But I think maybe we do have to say that like in the intro page where this is not the step one for your learning process. This is after you've got the basics down and you want to come and you want to collaborate with the knowledge you've had.
Good point.
And the other thing is, so the ideal person, I want to just ask this again. I think I already know the answer, but it doesn't matter whether you're coming from one of these classes or whether you're coming from the internet and you already have a basic knowledge of coding, right? I mean, both of those two profiles are welcomed into Agile Ventures, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's, I mean, Sasha here, for instance, is not a CS169 graduate. He attended the Makers Academy bootcamp, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his experience is slightly different. And Amy, I don't think did you graduate to 169 course?
No, I found Agile Ventures through a web search. I taught myself to code, and there's a huge gap. There's lots of intro to coding schools. There's lots of tutorials, and then there's work. But there's this huge gap of where you go when you're that intermediate level programmer. And I went looking for it, and I found Agile Ventures, and it just serves that gap so well that I stuck around, started digging into it.
Yeah, so this is
this
is the best way to explain this, and feel free to put that down in the document, Amy, because you put it very well. We try to fill that particular gap, and if we can find a way to communicate that to our members and to our potential members, that would be great, actually. All right. And in terms of this project, this Agile Ventures path, that's I kind of created this developer path because there are things that you can gain in terms of technical knowledge, of course, and stuff. By being just a developer in our projects, you don't have to get involved in the planning and brainstorming and everything. If you don't have much time or if your commitment is limited to in terms of how much time you want to spend and how much energy you want to spend on any of our projects, you can just grab features and you can do some pair programming with people and just if you're just into technology, that's cool. You can use Agile Ventures as to become a better developer. But if you want to, that's why I separate this developer path from a project path, because if you're interested in how our projects run, what are the pitfalls, the do's and don'ts, and etc., then the project path is a good way. And the community path is an interesting one from my perspective, because that kind of if you are already a good developer or a good project manager, but you want to start giving more than you receive, you know what I mean? Then you start to get involved in other members and their development. So if you're interested in the community aspect of this, then perhaps you're not in this just to gain gain new knowledge or new experiences, but rather to share your own experiences with others. And to improve the ways we do as a community and stuff. So that's why I created. That was my idea behind those three different paths, basically.
Okay.
And I would say that in terms of transforming these into some measurable metrics, so we can assign points or what have you. I would say in order to become this core member, you should be at the top level of at least two of these three paths, and then you can kind of get a gold star or something. You can give yourself a pat on the back and say, "Yes, Thomas, I'm a good guy." Yes. Okay. So that's enough from me. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, no, thanks, Thomas. I just, I more than anything, I just was trying to clarify that user experience. Like who is this destined for? And you've answered that, so thank you.
All right. Okay, guys.
All right.
Well, that's
Is that everything?
Yeah, I
that's-
think
Good.
that's everything.
All right.
okay.
I will. Yeah, like I say, hopefully, with luck, in a couple of days, I'll be back into Agile Ventures stuff. So I've got some stuff due by then.
Awesome.
In which case, yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys around then.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks for
Cool.
today, and I talk to you guys as soon as possible.
Right. Talk to you guys.
Live long and prosper,
Have a good
guys
night.
and girls. Live long and prosper.
Thanks,
You too.
everyone. Bye.
All right.
Ciao.
Bye bye.